YouTube and welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had a great Christmas and a wonderful new year. It is now 2022 and we are starting off with our first video of the year. Now obviously the PlayStation 5 has been out for just over a year and a bit. Obviously still really hard to get hold of, but one question I have been asked a lot, especially more recently, is can you get PS5 controllers with back buttons? The simple answer is yes, you can. Now, Scuff have just released their Reflex controller. They do 3 different types. As you could probably guess, Scuff are quite expensive. I believe their range starts from £199, which is a lot of money. After a little bit of research, I actually found a company that you can buy the back buttons for your controller, which we will be installing on my PS5 controller. Obviously, my PS5 controller is custom. And when I bought the actual kit to customise this, I didn't realise this company, the company is eXtremeRate, they actually sell back buttons. Now, they do a few different versions, and they have just released their latest version, which is the RISE4 kit. Fully remappable. Here it is, really cheap, and I've already installed it on one of my controllers, which I'll show you in a second. But this is fairly simple to fit. It actually has 4 buttons compared to their previous models that only has the 2. This is fully remappable and fully reversible, which is the main thing. So if you have an issue with your controller, if it's still under warranty, you can take this back off without damaging your controller, send it back to Sony and get them to repair it. Which is the best thing about this. This kit was £40. It comes with a complete new back piece. As you can see, my controller is black and red. This is my shop controller. And I have gone with the textured black and red backing, where the buttons actually screw to. Now, my controller for home, I have already done 4 new clicky buttons, but this one I went a little bit further. Now, I'm not doing it to the shop one, so I won't be doing it in this video, but this has tactical clicky triggers. Ideal for your first person shooters, Call of Duty, Fortnite, that sort of stuff. Literally you have, it's like clicking a mouse. The response rate on this is amazing. I have tested this, and it's great. The only downside is it's really hard to play normal games other than shooters with this controller. Hence why I'm only putting back buttons on the shop's controller. This is literally solely for first person, well, solely for any type of shooter game that I'm playing. It's great. I love the back buttons. I've never really been a massive fan of back buttons, but these ones, where you can map whatever you want them to do by literally pressing a few buttons, it is that simple. But because the triggers, you can't do racing games or anything like that, because you'll literally be on full acceleration the second you press that button. There is no feathering to it. It is literally a micro click. Normally I think it's 5-6 mil press, millimeter. There is a massive difference. On the RB and LB buttons, you have a good millimeter press, 0.5. Let me grab the phone. So as said, if you want to go with the clicky trigger buttons, use a spare controller, unless that's all you ever play, is Warzone, that sort of stuff. So we'll move on to installing the back buttons onto the shop's controller. The only one downside I have found with installing the back buttons is you can't use your docks anymore, and I've got the Razer dock, so okay, that's a downside though. You can literally just plug it in via the USB-C. But let's get some tools ready and let's get installing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so first of all, nice and simply, let's start by removing the cover, where we find the 2 screws to start taking this case off. First one. Second one, then see the screwdriver kit. So the screwdriver bits actually came with the kit. So there's your LBRB button. Remove your 2 screws just inside here. First one. Second one. Right, now back here, got 2 little bits you need to just notch out. Well, that's broken already, so let's use the iFixit one. Right, get a bit of pressure there. Get that. And away it goes. Back plate off. Now, first thing we're going to do, get some tweezers. Just going to pop that out for safety. Take it out completely. You don't have to remove it, but it does help. But that's out. Then grab your battery. Unplug your battery. Should be 1 screw just in here. Remove that, and then your battery tray is free to come out. For the trigger buttons, we just need to undo that ribbon there. Mine's actually just split straight in half, so be careful. Luckily, you can order replacement parts of these. I have the replacements for my other one, but yeah, they split easily, so just be careful. Ideally, if you want to reverse it, don't break them. But I will get replacements as and when I need it. We just need to remove this one here. So that's nice and easy. Now, with these triggers, well, with this kit, you need to determine whether yours is a BDM 010 or a BDM 020, because you use certain bits for whichever one it is. If you haven't got the original case, like I haven't, and you don't know which one it is, if you just pin the board, it's 2 little tabs, one either side, pull it back, and it will tell you, once I get this out nicely, where is it? Mine is a BDM 0. You can see just literally there, it will tell you what board you have. Now, the first piece you need is this ribbon here. Now this ribbon literally goes, right, if I can hold it up enough, just literally sits, just making sure I get it the right way around, so that will go in there, so it literally going in between the current ribbon and the board. Just push it down on there, make sure the other ribbons are out of the way, spin your board back round and literally drop it back in place, and that's the hardest bit. So what we need to do is we can go ahead and put battery casing back on. Now we can go ahead and put the battery tray back on, should I say. Drop down into place. Hang on. So all we do now, put the ribbon back in the top, make sure it's all pressed down into place, grab your battery tray, put your battery tray back into position, and then we can literally, once we get hold of the screw, get it to stay on the end of the screwdriver, screw that back into place. Right, now, before we put the battery back on, we need to, on the ribbon, so you have BDM, see if I can get it, where it says BDM 010 or 020. Right, so you get your scissors and you literally cut off the bit you don't want along the dotted line, just like that for that one. So that's just the BDM 010 that I have. We then, to the side, slide it into the, where we pulled the last ribbon out, straight across. May need some tweezers for this. Trying to get this. Try a different pair of tweezers with a bit more grip. Here we go. Right, once that's in, we'll have that there. Then we're going to go over to the other side again. Got to cut off the BDM 20s. So it looks something like so. And then down into place. Just trying to get this ribbon into where it needs to go. So that's the ribbons all in. Now all we have to do is put the battery back on, plug the battery in, lock it down into place, bish bosh. Then with the ribbon, it has a sticky back on it. Peel that off, fold it over the battery and just literally stick it on the battery like so. And then, right, so all you have to do then is lift the tabs up, drop the L1, L2 into the L12 tab, These little latch pins to seal it up. What you do is you then bring over this. Oh, this one's undone itself. Wonderful. Right, so that's back in place. Let's pop that up there, out the way. One for the R1, R2 into place as well. Then you should have something resembling this. That's pretty much the controller part done. All we have to do is make sure everything is in its place. Little microphone has just popped itself out. And we can put the speaker back in its place as well. Let's just drop that in. Right, and that's that all back together. We can put that to the side for a second because on the back piece we have to install the holder. Let's make sure we get it the right way around, just like so. Then with the screws it comes with, you get 4 screws to hold it into place. Make sure everything's done up nice and tight. So, case, the base of the case is now on, and then we have to grab these buttons, sliding the rod through, so we can click these into place. So K1 and K2 is marked on the base of the mount. So K2, slide into K2, K1, just like that. Then we can actually go ahead, feed this cable through, and with this we put the ribbon through, and then we lock it down into place. We have two very small, very fiddly screws. When I say small and fiddly, I mean they are minute. That's one, and the second one just into place like so. Now those two buttons are fully working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put the case into position. Then I can finish building up the buttons. So we have the main button here, like that. We have the infrared. I say infrared, it's basically where the red light flat shows through, so you know if you've done it right. Then we put K3 and K4 on. Like that. So they go on nicely like that. And then this literally just clips on nice and easily. And you'll see the red lights on, everything's working. So we'll screw the controller back together, and I'll come back and show you how you program your keys. Right, so as you can see, it's now all complete, and it looks great. I think I matched up the red textured bits perfectly. So now, how to actually program the buttons. What you'll do is you press and hold this middle one. You'll see the red light comes on. Once the red light is on, you press and hold which button you want it to correspond to. So you can do the directionals, you can do the square, triangle, circle and that sort of stuff, and you can also do your triggers. Now I'm going to program this one here. So you press and hold that, and you press and hold that, it will flash 2 times, and it will say it's done. Then you can go on, move on to your other buttons that you want it to do. So say the K2 and square, it will flash a few times, and that's that done. You just have to hold it for a few seconds. Then to actually save it, you press and hold for the light to go off. Once the light is off, it is programmed. So triangle, square that I have it on, and then obviously you can do the same with the K4 and K3 button, which is amazing. Depends what game you're playing. Say if you're playing a Gran Turismo, you can change it for paddle shift instead of having it elsewhere. It's a great feature. Now obviously this is not a paid promotional thing or anything like that. This is solely for the fact that I had customers asking me for back buttons, and it's the cheaper alternative to buying a scuff for £200. Obviously if you wanted the trigger buttons, they're at an extra cost. I think they're about £25–30. I'll put a link in the description, as well as a link in the description to this kit here. Now, the other thing is if you buy the kit, you'll notice there's a few other bits that you can install. You get a piece of cable, not very big, but you can solder that onto get the touchpad. You can solder that on to get the touchpad working, and then you can also have the R3 and L3 buttons programmable. I don't need those to be programmable, so I didn't bother installing them. There is a way of doing it. It's not very hard, but it does involve a soldering iron, and I don't generally like bringing out a soldering iron to a £60 controller. I can do it, I just choose not to do it. Now I'm going to go and enjoy a bit of gaming with my new controller with the back buttons. I don't know what I'm going to play yet, but I'm going to find something. If you enjoyed the video, please leave us a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if anyone wants actually this done and don't want to do it themselves, we will be offering this service in store as well. It takes 24 hours normally, as long as they're in stock, to actually get the back buttons. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.